this is a seed swap, which is one of those beautiful community, I think, events of like reciprocity and sharing.
That's Natalia Reddick, co-grower Gibeah's Moon Garden at Putnam Farm in Orleans. She's participating in Eastham Public Library's Kick Off the Season Seed Swap Night, as the library got a jump on spring planting with an evening of seed give and take.
Basically, like with a lot of seeds, you just can share all the extra seeds that you have because you just have a surplus. When you grow and save seeds, you usually have a bunch to share. But it used to be this way where basically the stuff that, you save is the stuff that grew well in the environment. So then you share it and you plant it again and it'll continue to kind of adapt to the local environment.
Seed swaps draw on old community traditions of saving and regrowing plants from seed year after year, trading varieties with your friends and neighbors. Eastham staff librarian and seed library booster Corey Fahrenkopf says that on today's Cape Cod, many of the public libraries across the region have stepped up to help organize both seed swaps and shareable seed libraries.
When I was at Sturgis, we had a seed library, and that existed before me. But when I showed up there, it had kind of laid fallow for like a year or two because there was like some staffing changes and stuff. And then I started up again because I like seeds and I like growing things. And then when I came to Eastham, we didn't have a seed library. And I was like, hey, I used to do this at my other library. Why don't we do it here? It's one of those things where if you're a librarian, one of the great things is you can go to all these other libraries and see what is this place offering their community? What are they doing that we're not doing? How can I integrate that into what I'm doing? Do my patrons need this sort of thing?
And this was my first year saving a bunch of native plant seeds. So I just saved a bunch of pods from last year. I didn't even get to like unfluffing them, but you can take basically all these little things on each fluff is a seed. So when you see those floating around in the fall, that's from those milkweed flowers. So swamp milkweed and native milkweed is really good for pollinators. So milkweed is a great native plant to share.
Local seeds help support heirloom vegetables like scarlet runner beans, as well as native plants. These in turn support critical local pollinators and the larger environment.
Just take these fluffies and put them in your yard. Or you can like start them if you wanted to. Milkweed is really pretty. It's like it can grow probably five feet tall and just so great for pollinators. For like you'll just see the monarchs and the beneficial wasps and all the bugs just coming right to it, and it's beautiful. It's like this one I think is pink. So there's like little pink clusters of flowers. Nasturtium's kind of nice. I think I have some in here. Collected these, just dropped off of the vines, and some of them had even like, it's actually good that they had started to break down a little bit because they have these hard shells that need to get soaked through and start to break down. They look like little brains. I love them. But I also do grow all sorts of other things like that are not native. Like I love my tomatoes and my peppers and stuff like that. And they don't do as well necessarily just naturally growing on Cape Cod.
Because we all love non-natives like tomatoes, and because there might not be enough heirloom tomato seeds to swap, the Eastham Library partnered with Agway. The garden store donates commercially packaged seeds to form a backbone of an ongoing seed library. Brick-and-mortar library patrons can browse and check out for planting up to 3 packages of seeds.
One of the things that you notice as a librarian is like you can go to all these other libraries and see how do they do it differently? What are they offering their patrons that you might not be offering? What does this community need versus what does this community need? And you can see all these cool things that people are doing, like seed libraries, like libraries of things, like tool libraries. If you talk to someone who doesn't go to a library very often, they're like, oh, libraries, aren't they dying? Who reads books anymore? Who reads physical books? And it's like libraries are so much more than that these days. Like we're mainly like a community hub. We're a place where people can gather without having to worry about paying for things. Like we're considered a third place where you can just exist and be without having to be expected to pay for something, and where you can just hang out and use the resources and feel welcome and like not have any kind of capitalist pressure put upon you, and there's very few places like that anymore. A librarian's job is to be like, where do I need to meet my community and how can I help?